client. So let's do a quick walkthrough. This is what we'll do for the service delivery. Basically, there are 3 different systems that we will be building. 2 of them are voice agent systems, and the third one is actually a text system. So in this course as well, I didn't even plan for this. I'll also show you how you can create text agents that can send on text and on WhatsApp in order to give these guys the best possible results. So the first one will be the inbound voice agent. This agent will pick up incoming calls. So the way it's going to work is that their leads sign up from Facebook. They are running Facebook ads on the platform. They said they were spending around $40 a day, and that they're getting, I think it was like 10 leads or 20 leads a day, something around like that. So they are running Facebook ad campaigns on Facebook in order to get leads. And what they're doing right now is that they're only texting them. But what we talked about in the meeting is that we're going to implement a voice agent as well, in order to increase the amount of channels that we reach out to. Because some people, they will only, for example, answer phone calls. They never answer their text messages. I'm the opposite. I only answer text messages on WhatsApp. I never answer my phone if someone just calls me out of the blue. They are running Facebook ads, and they're going to continue to run that they have a text campaign. So the customer receives a text, but that's kind of all they do. So what we are going to be implementing is an inbound voice agent right here that's going to run alongside the text campaign. So they're still going to be able to book the same amount that they're doing right now. Everything we're doing from this point on will be additional to what they already have. So we're going to create this voice agent, and this is going to be an inbound one. You will not be creating the same voice agent for an outbound and inbound, because the conversation flow, the way it behaves, is going to be different. An inbound voice agent will talk to leads that are a bit more interested than a cold campaign one. So we're actually going to be building 2 kinds of voice agent systems in this course. We're going to be building an inbound one and an outbound one. So we're going to run it from Facebook ads. Then our voice agent is going to call every single one of these leads, and it's going to call them multiple times in order to increase the pickup rate. It's going to talk to people, and it's going to book them in. So it's going to book appointments, car detailing appointments, and we get 20% of that. That was the performance-based deal that we agreed on. And you can see this is their website right here. We can see the services. He said that they're mainly doing the full interior details, the gold package and the platinum package. So we're going to be getting 20% of, I'll write this down as well, $159 or $199 or $259. And because we are getting a straight commission based on revenue, we can also determine what package our AI should push. I think this one right here in the middle, $199, is going to be a good option. So the gold package right here is probably the one that I want to push. And 20% of 200, what is that? That's approximately $40. So we will make $40 per job that gets completed. That's pretty good, especially when we can just set it up once and have it run in the background. So that is the first step, right? That is the voice agent that we will be building. Number 2 thing that we're going to be building is another voice agent, but this voice agent will not handle inbound. It is going to handle outbound. So we talked about a lead reactivation campaign. If you don't know what a lead reactivation campaign, let me explain it very, very briefly. They had 21,000 old leads. And a lead is basically just a name and phone number, right? That they have stored somewhere. This name and phone number is someone that signed up to one of their ads maybe a couple of months ago that they didn't end up convert, right? That is these old leads that they're not doing anything with anymore. So like before, they were actually doing something, right? They're running Facebook ads and they're texting these leads. Now we are taking something that they're not using at all. Again, we're just adding additional to what they already have. We're not risking what they're currently doing in the systems they currently have in place. We are adding to that. What we are going to do is that if we wanted to call all of these leads manually, it'll be very expensive. And it would take a while. We can do the math. If we wanted to call 21,000 people, and every phone call, let's say on average, takes 3 minutes. So this is just an approximate of some conversations you'll have that's going to be 10 minutes. Most of the conversations, they're not even going to pick up the phone. So on average, maybe 3 minutes. If you then say 21,000 leads times 3 minutes, that is 7,000 minutes, right? So let's divide that by 60 to make it in hours. That's 116 hours of straight cold calling. And let's say that you are paying an employee to call them, and probably usually you would pay an employee like that, $20 an hour, right? 21,000 leads times 3 minutes. 63,000 divided by 60, 1,000 hours, that's right. And then times it by 20 to get the cost, $21,000. That's what I meant. That's how much it would cost to call all of these leads. $21,000. It won't even be close to that when we install our agent. Apparently, I'm not the best at math. So we're going to call all of these leads, or that's at least the plan, right? First, we take 1,000 leads to run a test on. So we let our AI call 1,000 of these leads, 1,000 of these numbers, and see, okay, how many % can we get booked in for an appointment? My goal is somewhere around 1%. So from 1,000, if we book in 1%, that's going to be 10 appointments. Again, we're still getting paid $40 per appointment on average if that's the package we push. So 10 times 40, that would be $400 that we would make from 1,000 leads, right? So if we make this much, we are probably going to be ending up spending maybe $100. We'll probably profit around $300. But we don't have only 1,000, we have 21,000. So if you multiply that by 21, then we get, I'm too stupid to do that in my head, 21 times 400. That's $8,400 that we potentially could make from this deal. So we're going to be creating another voice agent that can book them in, right? The one that's booking them in right here is going to be another voice agent. And I hope to book in 1%. This depends on the lead quality, how good the leads actually are. But I know that they are all like sourced directly from Facebook and that it's exclusive leads, so only this company has access to them, where like 10 appointments is low-key very doable. So that's the voice agent. Then we have the third build, which will kind of be a bonus in this video, which is going to be a text agent. And I want to install this on SMS and maybe even also WhatsApp. What this agent is going to do is also a lead reactivation. So the same 21,000 leads that they have, we're going to try and call them, but we are also going to try and text them. And I think we're going to be running this at the same time and test it to see, okay, does it work or does it not work? So we're going to take the 21,000 leads. We're going to run another test on 1,000. And instead of booking them in through voice now, we're going to book them in through text. And we're going to be running this at the same time so the customer can even call us or text us. And my hope is that we book in at least 1% combined. So from running both a voice agent that's calling the leads and texting the agents, if we can just book in one appointment out of 100 calls, which should be more than doable, then we're making $8,400 from this deal alone. That's the power of performance-based, if it actually works. There's a lot of things that need to align for this to work. The leads need to actually be good, which I think they are because I know how they get the leads and I know kind of like the system that they have in place in order to get the leads. I asked about that on the call. So I think they should be good. If we have good leads, then it's all up to us to create a really good voice agent and a really good text agent in order to make this lead reactivation campaign happen. This is kind of like the upfront money that we can make directly from this project. And then we can have this voice agent running in the background because that's taking all of the new leads. And we're just going to be making 20% from what this voice agent books in, which is pretty nuts. What I want to build out first, I think, is the outbound voice agent and the text agent, because I honestly think that this is the quickest money that we can make. And we want to give them that quick wow to the client that shit, holy shit, they took something we're not using and they turned it into money. That's insane. That's what we want to show them. What we can later then do with this client, which I want to show you as well. So in the future, we will, of course, always be running this voice agent, right? So the inbound voice agent, that will just like always be running. That will like be running at all times. And then for our lead reactivation campaigns, our two agents, we're going to run a campaign right in the start. I'm going to call that campaign 1. And then we're going to wait a couple of months. And then we're going to run another campaign that we're going to call campaign 2. And another campaign that we're going to run that we're going to call campaign 3. And another one that we're going to call campaign 4, just like that. And then we can keep like continuously running campaigns down the line where we use our two agents that we've already created. We just give them some of the new leads that they've generated until then, and that will passively make us more money. That's how we can build up a recurring business from this. Now you know like kind of what we want to create. For the tech stack, we're going to be creating the inbound voice agent in 11 Labs together with Go High Level. That is the CRM that they're using. And that's kind of the same stack for all the agents. We're going to be using the actual voice agent on 11 Labs like I showed you, but then we're going to connect that to that Go High Level for every single agent that we create. The only thing that we won't be using 11 Labs for is the text agent. That's all going to run through Go High Level. Great. This could either go extremely well and we book in a bunch of people and we get a bunch of jobs done and we make a very good commission, or we run into issues like either bad leads, that's the main one, which I don't think they have. I think we are good on the leads. or they will not be able to close them or fulfill them when we send over the jobs. Those are kind of like my main worries right now, but let's see if we can fix those.